very warm welcome and thank you for joining us on today's live broadcast. I'm here to bring us the news concerning everything that's been going on in our very own country over the last couple of hours. His Excellency P2B, who happens to be our principal and on whose mandate we stand, has said that every Nigerian, irrespective of their state or origin or place of residence, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. And this is made known while he was reacting to the recent reports of the deportation of citizens of Osun State by the Lagos State government, noting that this is not merely a concern for Osun State, but for all Nigerians who uphold the principles of unity, fairness, and justice. He took to his X handle, which is formerly Twitter, yesterday night and implored all Nigerians to remain calm and vigilant as they await the outcome of this investigation. Well, let's take a read from what he said exactly on his X platform. He said, "I am deeply saddened and shocked by the recent reports of the deportation of the citizens, mostly of Osun State of origin, by Lagos State authorities. This is not merely a concern for Osun State, but for all Nigerians who uphold the principles of unity, fairness, and justice. I find this action very distasteful because the far-reaching effects it will have on our national cohesion and development. As a pan-Nigerian advocate, I vehemently oppose any form of discrimination, injustice, or violation of our citizens' rights. Every Nigerian, irrespective of their state of origin or place of residence, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Let us always remember that we are all Nigerians, united by a common destiny, and that it is our collective duty to uphold the values of unity, fairness, and justice, and to stand against any form of discrimination or injustice. Our Constitution guarantees every Nigerian citizen the right to reside and find livelihood in any and every part of the Federation. I implore all Nigerians to remain calm and vigilant as we await the outcome of the investigation. Meanwhile, the security agencies in Osun State are closely monitoring the situation to ensure the safety and well-being of the deported youths. Together, let us strive for a Nigeria where every citizen is accorded their dignity and respect, regardless of their background or place of origin or residence. A new and different Nigeria is indeed possible. Let us strive towards it in unity." Signed, P.O. Well, this is from our very own His Excellency P2B, who has been on the frontier of championing national peace and unity. And it's just particularly sad when I heard the report of deporting, citizens of other states because you think they shouldn't reside in Lagos. It is particularly sad because they are Nigerians by all means, and they have, every right to live and find a living in any part of the Federation, like His Excellency P2B have said, because we always decry racism and other forms of, discrimination when it is being done to us generally, but within ourselves we just have a very, very bad way of relating to each other, which is really sad because we are all Nigerians. At least we're united in this face, and it's just particularly sad to see that some people are being segregated, some people are being discriminated against by their own very people. I mean, when we're watching the African Cup of Nations, we had situations concerning xenophobia in South Africa, where people were being treated badly just because they were foreigners, and we decried it because we were on the receiving end of it. But now we are in our country with the same people who are our brothers, and we have reasons, for no actual reason that makes sense, at least to me, for you to send them back. Because if these people are living under the right conditions, doing the right things, even paying their taxes, contributing to the economy of your city, what right do you have to send them back? Because I'm very certain that there are also Lagosians who reside in Osun State. So we don't know the totality of what exactly transpired. It could be that they were miscreants, but like His Excellency P2B said, this is under investigation, and we're going to find out the exact information or the exact thing that transpired that led to their deportation. And of course, we here at the Dati Family Television, we're going to be here to give us the details as the reports are made available to us. Well, moving on, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who happens to be Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tsuga, will now represent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the 2024 US Africa Business Summit in Dallas. This is coming on the heels of the, public outcry, saying that His Excellency is away from seats because we don't know where he is. Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we don't know his current whereabouts since the last time we saw him in Saudi Arabia for the Economic Forum. We don't know where he is. Yesterday we talked about the fact that his vice president, who happens to be Kashim Shettima, also jetted out with him to attend this US Africa Business Summit in Dallas, Texas. But last minute, according to the presidency, Vice President Kashim Shettima, who was originally scheduled to represent the president, was unable to make the trip following a technical fault with his aircraft, forcing him to make a detour on the advice of the presidential air fleet. The vice president will now carry on with other national duties. Well, particularly, I'm of the opinion that this drama about the whole aircraft having a technical glitch is probably just secondary. It probably happened, but I don't think that is the main reason why His Excellency Vice President Shettima decided to come back, because I think they've seen the drama that's going on mainstream media and the fact that it is a topic of public discussion as to the whereabouts of Chief Tinubu, and also the fact that Aso Rock is particularly empty with no administrative role being performed by both Chief Tinubu and the Vice, because two of them are not available. So I'm thinking it is in a bit to calm Nigerians down and to actually have them relax to say, okay, even if Chief Tinubu is not around, his Vice is around. Well, we have netizens who have reacted to this news of the technical glitch. Some people believe that it is a ploy of the federal government on their end to probably purchase a new aircraft with taxpayers' money. This is coming from the username Apex Horde on X, which is formerly Twitter. He says, if you want to purchase a new aircraft, just say so. Stop trying to gaslight Nigerians with this aircraft error every 2 minutes between you and your Oga. Please, we are tired of all these gimmicks. We are waiting so that we will know where to start applying pressure. Well, really interesting indeed. We have another one from EK God who says, these two clowns just want to buy new presidential jets at inflated prices. You're going to hear the billions needed for their replacements. They can deceive bat idiots, not us. Well, everybody has, their own, ideas to the reason why this technical glitch is actually happening. But to me, it is less about the fact that he is traveling and more about the fact that they just don't want the public outcry to go on. That is why they're like, you know what, last minute, this person has to go back on the home front to ensure that, there is some form of administrative presence in Aso Rock. But this is not actually far-fetched, because we know so many times, it won't come as a surprise to us Nigerians if we hear that there is some, huge billions earmarked somewhere for the purchase of a new aircraft, because they will say, oh, this is not, enough for us, or this one is being faulty and it's delaying, procedures of the government. But that's besides the point. Well, moving on. We have the presidency that has reacted to the claims by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar that the Tinubu-led administration is being biased for awarding the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project to a high-tech construction company, knowing fully well that his son, Seyi Tinubu, is sitting on the board of this affiliated company of high-tech. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Nanuga, took to his X handle to condemn in a press statement the former vice president on his remarks concerning the Coastal Highway project and the allegations of nepotism and putting personal interest above that of the people. Part of the statement reads that it is important to state, this is coming from Bayo Nanuga on his X handle, if you want to see the totality of this tweet, because it was a very lengthy read, but I'm just going to take the part that has something to do with addressing the allegations of nepotism and Seyi Tinubu being on the board of Chagoury's, high-tech. It says, it is important to state clearly that Seyi Tinubu is a 38-year-old adult who has a right to do business and pursue his business interests in Nigeria and anywhere in the world within the limits of the law. The fact that his father is now the president of Nigeria does not disqualify Seyi from pursuing legitimate business interests. Well, I'll have to hold it here. I just have something to say particularly to this part of this statement. Nobody's actually denying the fact that we know he's 38-year-old and he has business interests. I mean, he's allowed to practice business, right? But we know the pattern as to which the Nigerian politics is being played, and it is not far-fetched for Nigerians to actually raise an eyebrow, because this particular project did not follow due procedures. Usually there would have been a public bidding to get this contract, but we just had last minute. They decided to give it to a firm that the president's son just happens to be on the board of it. It is not, very out of place for Nigerians to smell some sort of foul play. So this explanation is not, really doing it, especially for me. But I mean, moving on, he says, for the records, Seyi joined the board of directors of CDK in Osun more than 6 years ago. He is representing the interest of an investor company in which he has interest. He's not a board member because his father is a friend of the Chagoury's. Information about owners and shareholders of CDK is a matter of public record that can be openly accessed from the website of the Corporate Affairs Commission and CDK. Atiku and his proxy did not need a little known journal to recycle open source information to make a fallacious argument. The chairman of CDK and the highest shareholder of the company is the respected General T.Y. Danjuma, retired, and the Chagoury's are minority shareholders in the company, and only one member of the clan is on its 5-man board. Right? And so he also proceeded to say, we wonder how Seyi's membership of the board of CDK conflicts with high-tech construction company work on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Superhighway. Alhaji Atiku has been waging an unrelenting war against this all-important and transformative project for no justifiable reasons other than bad politics. This is very laughable, but we're going to move on from that. She says, Atiku knows that its grand success and other projects to be unfold, such as the Badagry-Sokoto Superhighway, will be a major boost for President Tinubu and finally upend his perennial presidential ambition. If not blinded by political ill will, Atiku knows that the right thing for him to do is to applaud President Tinubu for the ambitious and audacious Lagos-Calabar Highway, which was authorized by the Federal Executive Council. Well, if there's anything I take from this statement, is the fact that he's, actually lambasting Atiku because he thinks this is coming from some sort of politicized move, right? But I'm of the opinion that if you knew that this particular, Lagos-Calabar Superhighway project was going to be the turning point for Nigerian infrastructure and all of that, you should have properly planned it. You should have followed due process, because I think it, aside whatever politics he might be playing as an opposition, the point is that these roads did not follow due process. It did not have veto from the environmental body that is meant to take into cognizance different things that the businesses that are there. This is a road or an infrastructure that has a lot of impact on the social and environmental well-being of Nigeria as a country. If it was so important for you or for us as a people to have this road, you would have followed due process. But I think what they're just trying to make this about is to make this about, some kind of politics of, I lost the election, and so I'm trying to frustrate it. But I mean, every credible opposition, politics aside, is there to act as a checkmate to the ruling party and to the ruling government. So I don't think it's particularly far-placed for Atiku to say something as regards to this. Matter of fact, he's not the only person who have come out to decry or ask questions about this, and they've decided to not pay attention to other people who are saying things about this, but rather to politicize it and shift the goalpost to make it look like the only reason why Atiku is speaking is because he has political intentions. That might not be totally a lie, because I mean, at the end of the day, he is still a politician, but the truth is truth regardless of who it is coming from. And so part of this statement does not particularly nip the situation or the salient points and questions that are being raised concerning this Lagos-Calabar Superhighway project. Yesterday, Rufai of Arise TV went to his X-handle to, take his time to pen down questions that are really important as to why due processes were not followed. And we've not gotten any answer. Rather, we've gotten propaganda from Tinubu's chief propaganda specialist in the person of Bayo and Onanuga to come and make it look like, it is something about politics. It's really just about the well-being of Nigerians. And like I said earlier, Seyi Tinubu is well within his rights to pursue business interests. But if the business interests are actually going to, take preeminence over that of Nigerians, we have a right to bite eyelids at these, contracts that are being handed to firms without any form of competitive bidding. Well, that is as much as we can take on today's live broadcast. But before I leave, it is important once again that I mention to us the Obidient Family Cooperative. It has been gathering momentum over the last couple of weeks and months in various local governments across the nation. And if you want to be part of this history-making event, you want to be part of the people who are going to mobilize to actually redefine our options against 2027, then you can just join the WhatsApp platform by following the link that's going to be on the description box of this particular video. You can join the platform, have conversations with well-meaning Nigerians and Obedients on how to move the country forward and to move from consumption to production, like His Excellency P2B has always championed for. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this particular video, because that's the way you can amplify our voice as a media outlet, because a credible opposition is meant to act as a checkmate to the ruling party, and that is really what we're here for. We're not here in bad faith. We're here to make sure that Nigerians get the best of democracy, get the dividends of democracy and the rule of law, and that is what we're here to do, because most people try to make it look like we're just a group of people who are just, angry that our candidates did not get to. The point is that it is necessary for us to act as a checkmate. And so do amplify our voice by liking this video, sharing it, subscribing to it, and even dropping a comment on your thoughts on every of these things and issues that I've raised on this live broadcast. Till I come your way next time, bye for now.
See, this band epidemics, I call it right now, is bound to destroy the healthcare system of this country. Come to think about a hospital. PHED sent us a letter stating that by reason of us being in Band A, our monthly power bill is now coming up to 25,300,000 every month. That's crazy. Hospital is not business center. Hospitals are rendering essential services to the society. We're already struggling with the doctors leaving the country. Majority of healthcare system struggling as it were. I don't know where that all come, but I can state here that if nothing is done and done urgently to revisit that decision, I can put it to you that Band A epidemics in the hospitals will turn most hospitals into morgue. It could not be an epidemic, unfortunately, could have been said to be preventable.
So please do explain to me how you think the hospitals are at a greater risk with the issue of Band A.
In the manner you say, to turn them into morgues.
No. See, it's quite clear. Let's take the business dimension, the frustrating dimension of business out of it. Power is the life of healthcare delivery. When the light is in a hospital, patients have a sense of hope of living again. In addition to that, majority of emergency drugs and anesthetic drugs all maintain what they call cold chain. Okay. There's a particular temperature, as a matter of fact, most drugs, if I should make it clear here, there's a temperature for these drugs to be maintained. But if this decision is done, as the Business Day newspaper reported that 20% of the hospitals are already shutting down, and this decision again on to strain the hospital the more, it will come to a point where most of these drugs will be in a state, as is already happening. Most time a diabetic patient will have an insulin given. You won't see any effect. Most probably the protein content of it has already been denatured because there is no power to preserve them. I witnessed something in the course of my medical engagement where an elderly woman was to be operated. The anesthetist gave propofol, a certain volume, otherwise you make a woman to be able to relax. And the anesthetist asks, "Madam, how are you?" The woman said, "I'm fine." The anesthetist increased the dose to be able to see if this woman should be able to sleep or not. "Mama, how are you?" He said, "I'm fine." Everybody looked at each other. Was it that the woman is alcoholic to have been able to resist such a... The anesthetist increased the dose a little more and said, "Mama, how are you?" The woman said, I'm fine. Is there any problem? Everybody say, Mama, get down. It is time. Let's be able to revisit. Only after evaluation, it was found that even though the drug was original, but not well preserved. That is to say, those that are diabetic in Nigeria currently should brace up, because majority of them that are insulin dependent will see no way to buy the drugs. So whenever they have to travel miles, maybe to get a hospital that may have a steady life, to be sure of what they are taking. It's going to be a disaster. While this band A is on, teaching hospitals and federal medical centers used to enjoy some relative form of life. Because perhaps they are not going to pay like other people, they are now downgrading them to band B, so that they will channel the energy to the people they feel that can pay, to the detriment of the health of the people. I can count on and on. Power is what determines whether a surgical procedure will be successful or not successful. It determines the before and outcome of any surgery. If the instruments are not properly sterilized, it is signing a death sentence for our people. If nothing is done to stall this development right now, the society should brace up for what is called nosocomial infection that will be acquired from the hospital, and the type that may come up may be one that will be resistant to all antibiotics we know. That even when we start getting it right, the worst had already happened. Something has to be done right now to install the possible mutation of those organisms by reason of being allowed in an environment of no power. My heart wrecked when a teaching hospital could pack their own instruments to go and sterilize in another because they don't have light. Who taught this? That's what I'm actually worried about. What is the level of consultation for which you look at something from economic indices, perhaps of an interested individual or group, to override the health of the people of this country? No, you see, most times we look at our little privileges in life, being in government or being in a position of financial empowerment. The day emergency will come, you will not know where you will be. That's why I look at it's a stone thrown into the market, it's gonna hit hard. And it is something preventable as it is now.
So aside the hospital or the healthcare delivery system, how does this Band A issue affect other businesses across Nigeria?
See, this is beyond business analysis. It is no doubt that such decision will affect the small and medium scale enterprises. Just come to think about this. A hospital with a NEPA, or what you call power bill, of over 25 million per month, that hospital has to pay the salary of the staff. It has to buy drugs, disposable, that the cost at the moment are triple because of the dollarization of our economy. You also have to maintain these equipment, sensitive equipments. And as well, for those that have had some form of facility from the bank, we also have that responsibility to go. And at the end of the day, this is seen to be a sustainable venture. This is not a job. This is not about money. This is not about profit. This is not about business. If a mechanic has a problem with your car, you look for another spare parts. A lawyer, the worst you can get from any lawyer is to go to jail. But when it has to do with healthcare, come on. If anything goes wrong, you're endangering the family, you're endangering the society in general by the value of that individual. That's why I'm making a passionate appeal to Mr. President, to the Honorable Minister of Power, executives of Jinkos and Discos, and even directors of TCN. Please, the economic projection given to you may not have captured the overwhelming sequelae. A number of doctors, as I'm talking to you now, are sacrificially, patriotically staying back in this country, despite the mouth-watering offers they have abroad. We can't frustrate them. We can't say to hell with whatever the hospitals pass through is saying to hell to the health of our people. That we can revisit to be able to maintain what keeps us together as human, which is the health of the people. Please, let's look into this to avert this unfortunate healthcare tsunami that is about to unfold.